Hello, welcome to the Daily English News Program on Azərbaycan Televiziya with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, İlham Məmmədov. President İlham signed an executive order on the measures in respect to the construction of highway in İmişli district. According to the executive order, 15,800,000 manats are allocated to Azərbaycan Avtomobil Yolları State Agency for the construction of Ağsu Kürdəmir, Bəhrəmtəpə, Məmmədli, Ağamallar, Əlyetməzli, Allahmədətli, Telişli highway connecting 5 residential settlements with 9,000 inhabitants. The fact that Baku is hosting the Astronautical Congress again after 50 years is a further embodiment of the reputation and trust that Azerbaijan has gained in the international arena. This once again confirms that it has already become a tradition for international events to be held in Baku. On the other hand, it is the existing political and economic stability in our country and the created modern infrastructure.
It was not easy for our country to win the right to host the Astronautical Congress, which is considered the most prestigious international event in the field of modern technologies. We had strong competitors to organize this event. Our country's high reputation and President İlham Əliyev's successful diplomacy on behalf of Azerbaijan in international organizations made Baku the preferred choice.
Azerbaijan, during the times of independence, transformed into an active member of international community. Our policy always is very clear, transparent, straightforward, and is aimed at winning friends and enhancing cooperation.
Azerbaijan, having its say in the world, is experienced and successful organizing any international event. The fact that such a prestigious congress was entrusted to Baku was also due to the rapidly developing space industry of our country, one of the few members of the World Space Club.
Azerbaijan became a member of a global space club more than a decade ago, and now with 3 satellites, 2 telecommunication and 1 Earth observation satellite, we continue our efforts to develop space industry in Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan is one of the countries that has created a modern space industry infrastructure. It has eliminated its dependence on foreign satellites by launching telecommunication satellites, which are important components of information security. It exports its own satellite services. The existing satellite network not only protects the sovereignty of our country, but also provides important support for socio-economic development. Azerbaijan, which has changed the energy map of Europe, increases gross domestic product by 4 times, budget revenues by 30 times, and foreign trade turnover by 10 times in the last 20 years, is also known in the world for its successful satellite projects. More than $300 billion were invested in Azerbaijan in the last 30 years, which is the result of favorable investment climate in our country.
We managed to reduce our direct foreign debt, and now it is around 10% of GDP. And by the end of 2024, according to our plans, it will be around 7.5% of GDP. Foreign exchange reserves in Azerbaijan exceed our direct foreign debt 10 times. So in other words, if we would like, we can repay all our debts within a couple of months.
The holding of the International Astronautical Congress in Baku is also a manifestation of the strength and power of our country. After Azerbaijan restored its territorial integrity and created a new reality in the South Caucasus, the number of states and institutions that want to cooperate with our country, believe in us, support our policies, and show sympathy for us is rapidly increasing.
So our experience of restoration of territorial integrity and sovereignty in certain way is unique. We put an end to a conflict which was imposed on us. We protected our dignity. We restored justice and international law. and now it's time for peace in the Caucasus.
The author of all these achievements is our people and President Aliyev, who continues the policy of the great leader Heydar Aliyev, because the mentioned conference took place just once in the Soviet Union in 1973. Thanks to the great efforts of the great leader Heydar Aliyev, this event was held in Baku. Foundation of space industry were laid in Azerbaijan about 6 months after this event. After half a century, the repetition of this history with the participation of more than 5,000 representatives from more than 100 countries in Azerbaijan, this time in our independent country, has a great symbolic significance. This event is also an indication of higher level of attention and interest at the international level to the important achievements of Azerbaijan in the field of modern technologies, digital development, and construction of space industry.
The names of 5 more servicemen who became martyrs in anti-terrorist measures were added to the new list announced by the Ministry of Defense. Currently, the list contains the names of 191 military personnel who died. According to the Ministry of Health, 192 military personnel of our armed forces became martyrs during local anti-terrorist measures. Among those servicemen, 180 are members of the Ministry of Defense and 12 are members of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. One of the martyrs is a civilian. It was noted that the identity of 11 people will be determined by the forensic medical expertise after forensic genetic examinations will be conducted. At the same time, as a result of local anti-terrorist measures, 511 military personnel and 1 civilian were wounded. On October 3, 2020, our army continued its victorious advancement in the patriotic war. President, Supreme Commander-in-Chief, on his Twitter page announced the liberation of Madagiz and hoisting of the Azerbaijani flag there. Also, by the decision of the head of state, the historical name of Madagiz, Sugovushan, was restored. On that day, our army liberated Talish village of Cebral district, Mehdili, Çaxırlı, Aşağı Maralyan, Şeybey and Gujah villages of Cebral district, as well as Aşağı Abdurrahmanlı village of Fizuli district. On the same day, the Armenian armed forces targeted peaceful citizens and civilian infrastructure. As a result of intensive artillery shelling by the enemy of our cities and villages, 2 people died and 4 were wounded. The Ministry of Defense reported that during that day in the battles in the direction of Sugovushan-Aghdare, 4 tanks of the 77 Tank Squadron of the Armenian Armed Forces were destroyed and 3 more tanks were taken as trophies. Also, as a result of artillery strikes on the territory of defense in the Aghdare direction of the 5th Mountain Rifle Division of the Armenian Armed Forces, 4 vehicles were destroyed. A group of military personnel who have completed their term of active military service in the military units of the Azerbaijani army was discharged. During this event, the dear memory of nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev and our martyrs was commemorated with a minute of silence. The soldiers who have completed their active military service expressed their great honor and pride to serve in the victorious Azerbaijani army and noted that the positive habits and qualities they acquired during their military service will contribute to their becoming worthy citizens of the society in the future. During the events, a group of military personnel who distinguished themselves in the performance of combat tasks during their service period were awarded. You can get in touch with us by contacting AzTV Haber's hotline number 051-511-1956, through which you can report events you come across of, as well as share your suggestions and remarks. You can also contact us via our WhatsApp and Telegram accounts. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.